Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Aurora Squadron Podcast, the podcast where we talk about the Alaska metagame as well as X-Wing in general. We apologize for being about a week late. A few of us were feeling quite ill, so we're going to make it up to you guys for, being late by doing nothing extra at all. We're just going to do everything that we normally do.
Sweet.
Right. Anyways, I'm William. I'm joined here with Derek.
Hello.
As well as Brant.
What up?
And since last month we did the interview with one of our players that went down south for one of the big tournaments, we're going to have a lot to talk about for the local meta. We're going to go over everything that happened in January as well as February. And so the vast majority of this podcast is going to be spent talking about those tournaments. So let's go ahead and get right into that. The first tournament that we have here is one of our local store tournaments for Boscos. This was a 14-player tournament that happened in January. So our numbers are still fairly strong, considering the very huge uptick in new players that we had at the end of December, which is always a good sign.
It's pretty fantastic considering in the past we would be excited to get a tournament of like 8 or 10 people.
Yeah, that was pretty much the most we could possibly expect.
Ideally, we'll just keep going up.
Yeah, that's the hope. It kind of feels like X-Wing is in a little bit of a lull right now while we're waiting for the new wave to come out. But,
Well, the new wave, at least the new wave is going to bring some neat stuff. The LAAT and the droid gunship, I think, are going to be pretty great. And the shuttle will be interesting, but we'll have to see what differentiates it from the Upsilon first.
It's smaller.
I mean, other than Upsilon.
the fact that you can run it in hyperspace.
I mean, that's... You're right.
Yeah, let's just print an entire ship just so we can have a crew carrier in hyperspace. Let's do it, boys.
And make it 2 dice because we can't have any of that 4 dice nonsense.
Doesn't even shoot in the movie. We see it for like one scene, right?
Yeah.
Run to crate.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty funny. Anyways, so for the number one spot in this tournament that we had here, with an MOV win, I'd like to add.
This means he won. When he got his victories, they were harder than yours, or better.
This is true. It's very dependent on the list that I ran. But anyways, Derek, you did win this particular monthly tournament in January. You were running... Oh, man. These are like some new pilots.
ZZ Throw and Kazuda Ziodo with Taliesin and Kova.
That's someone's actual name?
Kazuda Ziono. It's two names. Kazuda is the first name, and Ziono is the last name. There's no spaces because Brian
put it in list force is weird. I was like, that is the longest first name I've ever seen in my life. Anyway, everyone just calls him Kaz, right?
Yeah.
This is the
Fireball.
premier Fireball pilot, the one that gets an additional attack and defense die as long as
his damage cards are
less than the initiative of the attacker or defender.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, and he always starts with 1 because that's the ship ability of the Fireball, right?
Correct. I've been seeing people who are running R5 on him and it's immediately healing the damage.
Oh. That's actually... that's really sweet. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, so I was thinking about trying to run more of him now that he's kind of been playing for a few months and people are for a month, and people are trying to kind of figure out what's good for him.
Yeah.
And the R5 does, I guess, allow him to get the extra dice against swarms.
No kidding. That's so cool. Especially like the Vulture swarms, which, they didn't get hit in January. And so, they're still really good.
Correct.
And so, you did have Kaz. You're running a Heroic. You have Heroic
on everybody.
As the talent of everyone. The Resistance Special.
I mean...
It's incredibly point efficient.
It's a pretty good... It's one of those weird abilities where it's on a ship if the ship has a talent most of the time. But if it was like 1 point more expensive, you just wouldn't.
Maybe. I feel like it adds a lot of consistency, which is always great, especially in a tournament environment. Consistency is one of the most important things that you can have.
I don't know if Adds consistency, more takes away inconsistency.
What?
It's different. It's different.
What?
It's different. It's different.
He's got you.
You're right. You got me. I can't say anything to that.
It's a little different.
And so it's ZZ. What does ZZ do?
ZZ. When ZZ performs an attack, or after ZZ performs an attack or defends, you may perform, or you may spend an energy to gain an evade or a focus token.
Is that one reach?
One recurring. Yep.
That's one of the pilots that was introduced in the Aces pack, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So she sounds really awesome on paper. How did the A-Wing fly in the actual game, especially compared to other Resistance A-Wings?
I think ZZ is probably the best A-Wing now.
Yeah.
The extra token economy. I mean, you're still gonna probably see the argument of ZZ versus Lulo a little bit, because Lulo's still the other really good A-Wing. I mean, he's still kind of expensive, but he's
as long as you can blast past and probably chuck the arc down back, then the extra attack dice is always going to be valuable.
I think it'll be interesting to see if the 5 A-Wing lists drop down some of their pilot skills so they can fit ZZ and Taliesin, or they're just going to replace Taliesin with ZZ in the long run.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see.
But it's a pretty good list. The nice thing about having Kaz and Kova is because you need three attack dice ships.
That's true. If you're running too many, like 2 hits, then I feel like you're not quite as punchy, unless you're running something like 5 Special Forces ties, because then you have like 5 super bulky ships that are just consistently putting out damage.
They're pretty good, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I do think Advanced Optics helps a ton for those 2 attack ships. I think it really makes them work, especially when you combine it with Heroic for the Resistance faction.
Gotta solve that inconsistency.
It almost always makes everything a 2.
Yeah.
Almost.
The chance for rolling the worst case scenario is a focus blank, and the chance for results for that is relatively low comparatively to the other results you can roll.
Mm-hmm. And it's 1 hit still.
Yeah.
And then of course, as you had already mentioned, you were running Covanel, which had the Leia crew, as well as R4 Astromech and Heroic. Very standard Kova. I think she's honestly one of the best pilots that the Resistance has access to them, especially when we're talking about hyperspace, which this tournament was. Right? Wasn't it? No, it wasn't.
No, you're running. I see Forlom there.
You're right. Yeah. Looking at the list.
This was our last extended, yeah.
Yeah, this was absolutely extended, and yeah, what I ran was definitely not extended.
I mean, was extended.
Or it definitely was extended. Not.
Are you okay?
He's still upset by your inconsistent line.
Hey, man.
How dare you? Yeah. Anything else that we want to share about this particular tournament?
I did like your list, by the way.
It's something I've flown quite a bit before, with some alterations this time around. I guess I should explain for anyone who's not entirely familiar, but the list contains a YV666, which in this list is Lats Razzie, which lets you spend target lock in order to tractor someone in range 1. And it also has Forlom, which is the Mist Hunter that allows him to pawn off a stress token at the end of every turn to anyone who's in range 1. And then I also had Graz, which is a Kirax that gets a bonus attack and defense die whenever he is behind the person who's either being attacked or is attacking him. And that follows reinforcement rules. So if you're on the line, then you're not considered to be behind them. And essentially the strategy is to put Forlom and the YV and Lats Razzie in a corner, and then you just turn them in real slow and park them there. You put Forlom on a rock with Kira, And then you have Lats Razzie with Jabba the Hutt, Han Solo, and Contraband Cybernetics. And essentially, what that combo boils down to is that he lets him sit still for like 5 turns, and he can take a normal action as well as a focus, and just not caring at all about stress because he's spending and gaining back Contraband Cybernetics every turn with a stop maneuver. And you essentially have to bring like a 20-sided die to count as stress at that point. And then, yeah, Forlom can also stop right next to him and pass along his stress over to the YV, because the YV doesn't care at all about it. And then Forlom has advanced sensors, elusive, mist hunter, to make sure he can still get an action, as well as aid in his defense while he's on a rock, ignoring that rock on his offense. It's a lot to talk about. It's probably really confusing when you don't have it all in front of you. But that's the way the list works. And it's one of the most fun things, especially because it uses a ship that's considered to be like one of the worst in the game, which is the YV-666.
It's just because it's completely outclassed by the Ypsilon most times when it comes to comparing stats.
Well,
that's what people like to compare it to for whatever reason.
Sure, you're 100% correct. Like, definitely blows it out of the water. It's got a better shield health ratio. It's got
more attack dice, more attack dice.
Yeah, we can just stop at the more attack dice big, because that's crazy. Four attack is such a bonus. The YV does get access to a 180 arc, which I think is very useful, especially on a large ship, but it's just not enough.
Yeah,
really.
Unfortunately, maybe we'll see some more love for it next time.
I think it's possible. It got a little bit of a buff this time around. Anyways, I think we can move on to the next tournament, which is at Tier 1. These ones usually are a little bit smaller. This one was 6 players, and this is actually hyperspace.
Yeah.
not extended.
Yep, completely hyperspace.
And so in first place, we saw Jim with his signature First Order, this time running Kylo Ren, Blackout, so double silencers.
Triple silencer, First Order test pilot. Also
that's silencer. Also a silencer?
Yep.
He ran a generic silencer?
Yep, generic I-4, baby.
Oh, that's great.
Just 3 silencers. It's a really squirrely list. With
Wait a second. There's no upgrades on that.
Nope, they're all naked.
He won with that. I love that.
Well, I mean, when you got Blackout's ability, if you're able to trigger that, those in their 2 defense dice.
Kylo has 2 force.
Oh my goodness. Whew. I like it. I like it a lot. That's definitely something that you would almost never see anywhere. And the fact that it did, he won all 3 times with it in the Swiss. That is fantastic. Wow, both of the people that got second were running Resistance, in fact.
Second and third.
Well, yeah,
MOV.
Yeah. They both went 2 and 1.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool. And Kova Nell is on both of those lists. Once again, solidifying the fact that she is the best pilot for the faction right now.
And then it's hilarious to look at this and then look at the store champ where we had 1 or 2 maybe Resistance players.
Yeah, we'll get to that tournament.
Yeah, I think it's just because the particular people that went here, they're pretty good, and they just fly Resistance sometimes, and they just happen to fly it this time. Yeah.
Pretty standard list. I mean, Vimerati, I don't see a lot of.
Who is
Vimerati is the transport pod pilot, Pilots Go 1, that gives you perfect information, dial information on a ship on any list when she's within range 0 to 3.
So she's an informant.
Yep.
Basically.
On 0 to 3. How much is she?
And when does that trigger? System phase?
It's probably systems phase.
Yep, during the systems phase.
Crazy.
And is you choose someone at the beginning of the game, or is
it
during setup? So when she sets up, when she's placed, she chooses her target.
Okay.
And can she move that after they're destroyed, or?
It doesn't say so probably not.
No,
not like Agent Callus with Hunted. Okay.
And the ship she has intel on cannot spend focus tokens on attacks against her.
Oh, nice!
Wow, that's
definitely something that you would slap on their big ace and just be like, all right, I'm gonna block it.
It's 27 points, so
yeah, that's really efficient. 27 points.
The ship itself is pretty lackluster.
Yeah, it's just a little pod. Yeah,
it's got what, 2 evasion?
Yeah, 2 evasion, 4 health.
2/4. Mm-hmm. Definitely quite vulnerable, but you don't have to even be close at all with that ability. Yep. Range 0 to 3, yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
You just kind of skirt around.
And this list did also have Kaz on it. Running the Kaz train.
However, only heroic and targeting computer. No R4.
Does it not have a native lock action?
It does not have a native lock action, but it does come with missiles.
Interesting.
All right.
And then, rounding it off with Poe Dameron.
Heroic, unsurprisingly.
Yeah, it's just heroic and R4 Astromech to help with those turns. And then Rick also, who...
the third place, who also ran resistant.
Close third.
Very close.
He ran Kova.
The exact same setup.
The golden Kova.
Yep.
And then Poe with like everything.
Fat Poe. You got the heroic and the R4, but you also got the title and plasma torps.
Mm-hmm. And then Nien Nunb is. I think Nien Nunb is honestly like one of if not the best X-wing pilots for the Resistance, just because Poe is so darn expensive.
Yep.
he's
Nien Nunb
so much.
Nien Nunb is really, really in a good place.
Yeah, he clears that stress whenever he's range 1 after he does something right.
I believe so.
Yeah, that's why he's so good. And I think people they fly Black One title with him quite a bit, right?
Correct.
Mm-hmm. Just because like he can be super squirrely with that and get away with it with mods.
I think the saddest thing for Nien Nunb is that they removed Elo from hyperspace.
Oh yeah.
So Nien and Elo used to be like the
combo.
Yeah.
It was the move.
Because they could both Talon roll and lose their Elo doesn't get a token when they Talon roll, and Nien can lose the token when he Talon rolls.
Yeah.
So it's just that double reposition, no worries.
I think they probably did probably take her out of hyperspace just to see what people would do.
And it seems Poe is the answer, at least up here for these two.
Yeah. All right, let's head on to the next tournament, which is actually the Store Championship at Bosco's, which I believe is it a yearly tournament? The Store Championship, or is it quarterly?
No, it's yearly because we've been in 2 or 3. We've been playing for about 3-ish years.
Okay. So this tournament had a really great turnout at 18 players, which was fantastic. It was a really fun day.
We did have 2 drop out though about midway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we went down to
that happens sometimes.
Yeah, life happens, or life happens.
Mm-hmm. And so
what I think is really interesting is actually what Ray in the Swiss went undefeated. I faced him. His list was really, really obnoxious and strong.
I'll say it right now. And this might be a hot take, but I think they really messed up with the stabilized S-foils for the B-Wing.
You think they're too good?
It's not just that. So the issue that I have with the stabilized S-foils is that they buffed the B-Wing in all the wrong places, which was Ten and Braylon. I don't think they needed the help at all.
No, with the S-foils, I don't think they needed it.
Exactly. I think that this would have been the perfect time to introduce a configuration that could reduce the stress of the ship, because Ten and Braylon, that's their whole shtick, right? Using stress as a resource. So if they were to make the stabilized S-foils, maybe give them better maneuvers, things that they can do and not stress themselves, I think that would have been a great buff to the generics, which absolutely need the help without touching Ten and Braylon at all. But instead, we just got double tap Ten and Braylon.
Yeah. which with this list was crazy because he had Jake, and the Garvin focus pass. It was
essentially he was double down.
Or in the
the
case
B-wings.
of Tenna, it was more like triple mods. Or Braylon, God, didn't even have to spend the target lock to reroll his dice because he's got the stress, and then he can spend the lock to shoot you with auto blasters after shooting you, or tractor if you want to.
Yeah, I faced this list in the Swiss rounds, and this was the only list that beat me.
Same here. Only list that beat me.
He went undefeated in there.
And I wasn't even upset about losing this list. This list was fun to play against too.
Well, you were already a guaranteed cut by the time you went against him, so it was a really low stress match for you.
But it was fun.
Yeah, but yeah,
it definitely was
scary.
definitely is terrifying when he gets out like golden like double
Jake's passed the focuses around.
and double 4 dice attack.
And Garvin's also passed it over, and so you got 10 and Braylon with their double taps.
It was a really stressful list to fight, and I think that
I think
10 and Braylon stabilize S foils is going to be a regular thing when it comes to the entire Rebel faction, and I'm going to hate it.
Well, the Rebels don't really have a lot going for them right now, to be honest.
Well, we'll see, because I think when we run around to Extended again, when all our Extended stuff comes back up, it'll change a little bit. We'll probably still see B-Wings, but I don't think they're going to be the thing.
The problem is that Rebels in hyperspace don't have a lot that's really strong right now. So the B-Wings are what people just gravitate towards, because...
Well, what do they have in Extended?
Well, in Extended...
Everything.
Well, what crazy things do they have? Like, the V-Wings are still double tap V-Wings. Like,
well,
what
U-Wings are
can
still probably
compete?
the most... The U-Wings are probably still the most cost-efficient ship.
Yeah, did you say U-Wing?
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought you said E-Wing, and I was like,
No, E-Wings.
you know what game we're playing, right?
No, I think once people start flying U-Wings again, you'll probably see a lot less B-Wings just across the board, because U-Wings are better.
Yeah, for sure. I think we can talk. I think we can count up what made it into cut for the factions in this particular. How many first order did we get? So we had 1, 2. It's really only 2 first order.
2 made it a cut, but they were also the 2 in the finals.
In the finals?
Yeah, the 2 first order.
Oh yeah, they were
in the
both in the finals, which is Jim and David.
Yep.
I suppose we'll talk about Jim, who was able to get the victory. He was running Naked Blackout, just like he did in the Tier 1 tournament. But he was also running the generic
TIE SF at I2. So this is the talentless one. Zeta Squadron. So concussions with passive sensors.
Yep.
And
so essentially it's...
And what's really great about that is with the Zeta Squadron, or well, any SF really with the passive sensors and a missile, is you can take your passive sensors, you have your thing pointing forward, like, all right, they do something maybe unexpected, they're in back arc, target lock, rotate.
Yep.
Take the concussions.
That's definitely the reason to do that combo over just having the title.
Yep.
Because it gives you the 3 attack dice, concussion missiles, has 3 charges on it, so it lasts for a really good amount of time.
Yep. It's efficient.
Either the front or the back. It opens up options, which is something that the title doesn't really give you.
And he's pairing those with Scorch,
which I think is the best
Fanatical,
the best TIE FO in my opinion.
And then Von Reg.
Yep, the big Von Reg. Really wanted to play with his new toy.
Yeah, too bad he died a lot.
Yeah,
and Von Reg was not having a good day that day, from what I saw.
He wasn't. I went against Jim and in the Swiss, and he wasn't able to take it there. I think Von Reg is definitely one of those ships that takes a lot of practice to fly, and I'm not 100% sure if Von Reg has the payoff.
Like Sutir fell.
Yeah,
because Von Reg needs to have you in his bullseye at the systems phase, and then hope that you're not doing a blue maneuver.
Yes.
For his ability to really truly matter.
Right.
So like it's good if he knows you need to reposition, if you need to do a red maneuver, and then he can either be like, all right, my ship's exposed, have a deplete, or oh hey, you're not going to get any shots with your reposition anyways. Take a strain.
Yeah. I mean, he's good. He's really fantastic, but
I prefer Holo over Von Reg.
Definitely a lot cheaper.
The ability to pass your tokens around, so you can either boost the offensive or defensive capabilities of your allies or yourself by giving away your strainer depletes.
Yeah,
Or
I think
stress.
that's a big deal.
And then, yeah, so
yeah, he was able to win. And then David, who is in, second place.
second place, yep, runner-up.
Oh, he was running doubles. No, wait, that's not double silencers. I remember looking at his list on the table. He's running the Kylo Ren with the Entourage.
Yep. Backdraft, TIE SF,
with
really good
nothing on it.
ability. Yep. Scorch with Fanatical, and then 2 Epsilon Squadron cadets.
Those are the
TIFOs.
Yeah, the little guys.
The little guys, I-1s.
Both of them running Scorch plus Fanatical. which
Scorch
is a
Fanatical
testament
is...
to how
He's
good
good.
it
That
is.
extra dice, and then you can change the focus over.
It's just cheap.
While we were watching, everybody told David stop trying to kill Scorch. He didn't listen. Spent about 8 turns trying to kill a 1 health Scorch, and I think that really cost him. He should have just turned when he had the chance and dealt with the other people.
Yeah,
Scorch just was
it's
living.
one of the unfortunate things when you're focusing down a high agility pilot, because it can either
You can
just
just go away, or you've got him.
yeah. It adds a lot of variance, and variance is something that you want to avoid. So,
Which Fanatical tries to help eliminate, just like Heroic.
yeah, it's a little hard in a list like this, where like you got Kylo Ren, who's really hard to pin down, and then everyone else is just either high agility or not generating a lot of threat.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get to face either of these guys.
I didn't get to go against David.
I played against David. It was a pretty good time.
That's good. Yeah, I think this tournament had some of my favorite games in it. Definitely between
It was fun. It was a long day. I'm not used to
X-Wing for
running
8+
many
hours.
games. It was 5 games for me because I botched it right in the first round of.
You and
Okay.
Ryan. Yeah, six games. Ugh, it was about 8 hours because our 75-minute rounds. Maybe you're not playing the whole 8 hours, but you're watching. You're absorbing all that information. You know your potential
I just
opponents.
left. My knees were hurt. I wanted to stay, but I couldn't after that long.
Don't worry, they had a 2-hour. The finals were 2 hours, and they actually almost went the time.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
2 hours. I mean, I can imagine it with as evasive these lists. can
evasive,
be.
and the you're playing really cagey because you don't want to throw here. You don't want to lose.
I don't know. I can just imagine it.
Yep.
Let's see. We have. I see 2 Imperials.
One,
Yeah, was there
two,
two Empire and cut?
Yeah, there was just the 2 of us.
Yeah, both of Decimators, right?
Yep.
Ty's
And
the
both-
one who knocked me out.
Yeah, and then Jim knocked him out. Yep.
It was crazy. It was looking pretty good for me at the beginning there, and then my Dengar was at half health, so we had 5 hull left. And I spent the turn repairing a crit. He shoots with Oikun out the back, range 3, gets 2 crits and a hit. And I'm like, well, that's not really cool, but this is probably fun.
Not very cash money, bro.
I know, right? I don't get anything on my evade. He dishes out the stuff. Boom, direct hit. Boom, direct hit.
Dead.
Gone.
Oh, just
There's
Dengar
nothing I
gone
can do
like
after
that.
that point. Oh,
Dengar just gone.
yeah. I could have pulled it from that point, but not like that.
Yeah.
Not like that.
Reminds me. I mean, it's similar to how our practice game went that at the Monday tournament before, where I double bumped your Dengar to get rid of him, and then it was your Dusty Bounty Hunters, but your Bounty Hunters were able to put it out there. But I think the difference here is he also has a pair of TIE Advanced X1s.
That was the weirdest thing about the list.
Yeah.
The fact that it had
And it's not
2
even Vader.
X1s. I know.
It's Zyrtec, who is, when he reveals his banks, he can go the other way, or I think he lowers the speed. When he reveals a maneuver, he can lower or increase the speed by 1. To a maximum or minimum of whatever's actually built in the game. If you reveal 5, you can't go 6. If you reveal 1, you can't go 0.
And Marek exposes damage cards.
No, Merrick
Oh my goodness.
is Merrick Steel is you get to, when you would deal a crit, you instead draw the top 3.
Yeah,
and you get to
yeah.
select for your opponent.
I knew it had something to do with damage cards.
Merrick gets to select the crit you get out of the top 3, which
I'm surprised you even remembered their abilities.
I used to be really big into the X1s for a while, but I'm still deciding what I want to do. I'm still really heavily. I like the double decimators.
Yeah, that's what you want, right?
Oh yeah, it was every single game slugfest. I don't think I even brought green dice. I just borrowed my opponents for the 1 or 2 I threw.
Yeah, that's funny. And then for other,
we had 3 rebels actually make cut. It looks like, is that 3?
That's the biggest. Braylon,
yeah 3, and they only 2. Yeah, Ricky wasn't running any B-wings.
I know 2 of them were running.
I thought that was it. So that's
at least 1 B-ring, but yeah. Oh, Ricky was running. Looks like
3 X-wings. So he's got 2 Blue Squadron escorts. What initiative is that? 2 initiative 2s, and then Luke with the Phoenix Squadron squad leader. I don't like that combo.
What's Phoenix?
Phoenix Squadron is the little initiative 1.
Yes.
Initiative 1 A-wing, and since A-wings get 2 elite, there are talent slots.
Okay.
They get 1 since they're the little Owen. So he gets himself squad leader, so he can coordinate. I would almost always pick Jake over that combo. I think it might be cheaper.
Oh, hold on. Can he fit it though? He's got like advanced proton torps on both of his generics
and heightened perception.
I'm certain if
Luke.
I'm certain if he could have fit Jake, he would have.
Yeah.
Because
Jake is better.
But he does. The Phoenix Squadron pilot does do its job on being a low pilot skill coordinates.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hold on a sec. It wouldn't work. Jake's ability only happens when he boosts a barrel roll, right?
Yep.
Then
So
why would you ever be coordinating with him?
Well, you don't run the squad leader. What you do with Jake is you do your maneuver, and then you take a focus for yourself.
Yeah.
You can boost off that, and then pass another focus over to somebody else.
Right.
Or you could.
I thought you guys were talking about.
Oh no!
Squad leader on Jake, and I was like, no, you just use his ability.
Or you can boost past the focus, and then link off your boost into a barrel roll from the ship ability and pass another focus, which is fantastic.
Yeah, Jake's.
But if he would have had, but obviously if he would have had the points, he would have put him on there.
Maybe, I don't know. Ricky could have been running anything.
Yeah. Ricky might prefer the Phoenix Squadron pilot over squad leader.
Okay.
And then Nathan, our other rebel, because Ray was our other one we already talked about, running just Braylon, just full upgrade. That's it. Nothing else. He didn't even have the S-foils.
I think he didn't have access to the S-foils. I don't think he bought the Aces pack, which we definitely are lacking up here.
And then
get them quick.
Yep. And a fat Luke and a fat Nora.
The fattest you could possibly imagine.
Yep. Like, this is the Luke. He's got heightened perception, which oddly that's twice now we've seen it here.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting.
The advanced proton torpedoes, R3 hull upgrade, and S-foils obviously.
R3 is the one that
double
gets
target
2 target locks, right?
Yep.
That's not bad. With
and then
the device.
Nora with the expert handling, ion cannon turret, more advanced proton torpedoes, the R4 hull upgrade, and proton bombs. I went against this list, and it's healthy. It really is. It's a fairly healthy list.
It is.
But it's just like at range 2 on Nora, there's nothing she can do. Or
She's
even
got an eye on Canada.
Or I'm talking about survivability, because she wants to be is her ability range 0 to 1 or just range 1?
I think it's 0 to 1.
But
it's good ability.
Yeah, but it didn't matter that much when Oikun said hey, because now she's not rolling. She just has a guaranteed evade. That's nice. Whatever. You know, Rack and Oikun were still. I blew with Nora pretty quickly.
It's a shame. This is just one of those examples where piling on upgrades just doesn't really feel that great. But hey, man, he made cut, so he must have flew these things crazy.
I mean,
good.
3 and 1.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So good job to Nathan for showing that even wonky lists like this, as long as you fly them well, you can get at least relatively far.
Yeah, and I'm just speaking from the experience of what I had versus him. It's just like getting close, and his dice, his advanced protons. I think one of his advanced protons torpedoes actually turned out 0 hits.
No way.
It was just that unfortunate. Yeah. So it was just
0 hits against a decimator.
Yeah, with the target lock.
You can't even hit the broadside of the barns.
But
that's just the whole barn.
But like you said, I mean, he made cut. He was 3 and 1, so he did something right.
Mm-hmm. I think the last one. Oh, sorry. Last one here is Scum and Villainy with Dengar, Tidal, and the R3 Astromech, and 2 generic Bounty Hunter fire sprays, both of them with proton bombs and contraband cybernetics.
So what's the whole thing behind this list? Because this is what you ran.
Mm-hmm.
So like, what's like? Because I played against it, and it seems like kind of what you want to do is punish with the punishing one, Dengar, for people trying to outfly the proton bombs and the bounty hunters with their double things.
So,
but
essentially,
our matchup's a little odd because of Oikun.
Yeah. The game plan with this list is to run at them with Dengar. He's a really efficient 3-die ship, and so he's got a lot of damage behind the amount of cost that he has. Just run them in with Dengar, try and do as much damage as possible, and then the bounty hunters are kind of there to both clean up, throw pot shots. The fire spray in general is just a fantastic chassis.
Yep.
And the generic fire sprays, they're 66 points. And so for 66 points, you get 3 out the front, 3 out the back, and 2 evasion and 10 health.
And the Death of the Jedi. 66. Come on.
Oh, right. So it's just the stats on it are wonderful. And it gets access to boost, which is always great to have in your repertoire. And I really liked having the proton bombs on these specifically because it allowed me to have a threat for anyone that's jousting me. It dealt quite a bit of damage, and I could shoot out the back if I ran forward.
Yep.
I think that the generic bounty hunters are definitely worth running. I feel like people have already been kind of realizing that even before, like, I don't know what I'm saying before or anything, but like before this tournament, like it's not like I'm doing anything new or crazy.
Yeah.
The fire sprays are just really good. It's not Boba, but they definitely dish out consistent damage throughout the game. And there was a couple of the matches where I took I lost almost no MOV just because they're so tanky. And as long as you fly them right, you can make them distribute the damage between people.
Yep.
And that's about it for the championship.
Yep.
It's a very long day, very fun day. Congratulations to Jim again for winning it. Then we can go to the next one, which is the tournaments for February. In this particular tournament,
Bosco's.
Yeah, I think this one happened before. Yeah, this is the tournament right before the championship. So I was practicing the Dengar and 2 bounty hunters,
Yep.
and I got first in this one.
12 players here, so not much smaller.
Yeah, I wish it was 16. Yeah, I never like seeing turnouts get a little smaller. Maybe some people had some stuff going on that day. I hope that this month is going to be even bigger and better.
So Brian's list, that's a thing. 6-6.
The most hilarious thing about this is that he's not the only person who had this idea going into it. What is it? 6-6?
Yeah, 6-6-6.
That's the list name. Oh, that's horrible. So we have Leighton Ashira with Snapshot and Auto Blasters, and the thing with Leighton is whenever that ship, or anyone attacking it, if an attack misses, then he gets an evade token. And so the thing with Snapshot is that if you get if you proc it and then you miss, you get free evade for that turn.
Proc it and you hit, you deal damage.
I know,
that's a
right?
win-win.
It's expensive.
And then
Snapshot's expensive, but that's pretty interesting interaction there.
And 5 10 point veterans, which are the I3s, I believe.
Yeah, I don't think they're the lowest generic.
Yeah, no.
But everyone had auto blasters.
Yeah,
every single guy. Oh, that's just really annoying.
You're lucky you didn't have to face it.
I'm really glad I didn't. Although I feel like I would have done kind of okay because my list had some bombs going on, but I wouldn't have had a fun time. And the hilarious thing is that I saw this list go against Tim's list, which is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, no. These two. Hold on. What is Zealous Recruit?
That's the Initiative 1 Fang Fighter.
Correct.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we had 2 Fang Fighters, 3. Okay,
4,
2 Fang
6.
Fighters, 3 of the lowest 6,
And then Sunny with auto blasters.
Yeah,
And the Cartel Spacers had tractor beams.
that's also a really annoying list. But it was crazy seeing them go against each other because
12
it was
ships
just
on the
like
board. A mass of ships.
Yeah, they were just like going at each other. I couldn't tell what was going on. It was absolute party time.
Kind of looking over. What are they doing?
Didn't help me at all by looking. And so, a couple of other lists that were going on here. We had a Resistance list that had Kaz, Poe, and Kova. We talked about those 3 pilots before.
Except the Kaz here is Coaxium and the Fireball, the title.
Coaxium.
I have not heard good things about Coaxium Hyperfuel.
I haven't either.
I've heard Advanced Slam is just better in every way. Always take Advanced Slam.
Advanced Slam is only 1 point more expensive and useful.
Okay, tell me how you really feel.
Coaxium Hyperfuel had a chance to be useful if it granted the Slam action, because at least it would be useful on something other than the Fireball. But the Fireball doesn't really need. It's a small base ship. It doesn't really need the need to slam after bumping.
Yeah, it's true.
It was a huge missed opportunity. I have no idea what ship in the future they could release that card will be good on.
I'll have to wait and see.
We're out Sam in 2020. Come on.
So yeah, that list got 3rd place. Brian got 2nd with the 6-6.
6.
And then Nathan got 4th.
That same list from the championship.
The exact same list. Yeah, he was also practicing. We were all kind of practicing
Yeah.
because this tournament happened. Was it the week before?
I believe it was on Monday and Saturday was the tournament.
Yeah, not even a week. Less than a week
like
before.
6 days before.
So we were kind of all practicing, and so he was running the same Luke, Nora, Braylon, really fat. He went 2-1, so he was still doing good here.
He knows how to fly the list. He just had a
sure.
string of bad luck in the hyperspace or that championship.
And 5th place, we got. What do we have here?
That is
Colossus.
that's a fireball. That's the generic fireball.
That's a generic fireball.
PS2. Yep.
You just felt like flying a generic fireball.
Well, no, it's
4 A-wings.
The generic, the PS2 Fireball is cheaper than the PS1 RZ2, even with those upgrades.
Oh, okay.
So with extra points I was able to fit on there, I was able to have both ZZ and Taliesin in the list.
My
That's
goodness.
really nice.
And Greer and Zari.
The
All
reason-
with heroic advanced optics.
The reason why I didn't end up running this at the tournament is during my matches, I found most of my games, every single game I played went to time.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
which gave me the impression that I would have to play with significantly reduced errors to succeed in the long run in a
And
tournament.
just win every time.
Just by points.
Yeah.
Because my MOV wasn't that good in the tournament. Cody right below me has a decent amount more than me.
Oh wow. Yeah. He got 7th, and he still beat you out on MOV.
Yep.
That's crazy.
So yeah, I just didn't run that list because it felt like it was, even though it was a good list, it definitely is a good list. It's just one where I can't really make a lot of mistakes. And I'm a more aggressive player, which results in typically more mistakes.
Right. I hear you. And
We had a Republic list down there.
we did.
Yep, Matt.
That's really interesting. The fact that we haven't really seen Republic almost at all recently.
It's with Plo Koon and Obi and 2 of the Bravo flight officers.
Well, it turns out if you remove the 3 dice attack on the Jedi Starfighters.
Yeah.
That's super true.
And-
I haven't looked recently into how popular Republic is in general, but it's definitely seen the biggest hit up here.
Well, yeah. The problem is that Dr. B, you lose 2 health and 1 red dice, and
Gain your 1 green back, I guess.
but the green dice, 1 green dice is less.
Way less valuable than all that.
Yeah, one green dice is way less valuable than even the one red dice.
That's true.
Even if you don't factor in the shields.
I mean, it is cheaper. It's hard to say. I think it's got a lot of potential. But you have to fly it a lot more carefully. Is the thing.
You need to fly it more carefully, and the problem is you need to fit attack dice in their ships somewhere else.
Yep, you gotta fit arcs,
it's got the calibrated laser targeting, which
is great if you can get them in the bullseye.
For sure. The higher PS pilots, you can definitely pull that off. Obi-Wan.
Plo is a 5, so yeah.
Yeah, Obi-Wan and Plo is really all you need, and that's what's featured on this year.
Yeah, predictive and calibrated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's perfectly fine. Bravo Flight, is that the ARC?
No, that's the Naboo Starfighter, the generic.
Oh, the Naboo Starfighter. People have been running the generics in other tournaments now.
Yeah, generics with passive sensors and proton torps. This one has plasma torps with plasma
Interesting
torps.
choice.
Oh, plasma torps aren't bad. Plasma torps can technically deal the same amount of damage.
Yeah, if they have the shields going, yeah, for sure. I'm not sure if I really want to use them because there's a lot of ships out there that just natively don't have any shields, especially like.
Yeah, there's something that you have to use
hyenas.
in the first round against other ships to kill their shields.
Although to be fair, it is a 2-die ship on its own, so it still gets a 3-dice attack 2 times if it pulls this off.
It is 8 points.
I'm sure if he could fit proton torpedoes, he would have, but subbing in 2 plasmas instead of 2 protons saves a ton of points.
Correct.
So
half a Z95's worth.
All right, I think we can move on to the next one.
The final one.
Is that 3 hours? Oh my god. This is our most recent tournament.
At Tier 1. Really small, unfortunately.
Yes. You think there would be a little bit more to practice for the... they're doing a store championship as well, right?
21st, yep.
Mm-hmm. Coming up here really soon. Maybe they'll be there tomorrow for the open play. Or
no, it's a tournament tomorrow.
Yeah.
I will hopefully be there.
I will not. I've got work on those days, but I'll be rooting for you guys. Anyways, we got... Well, I guess this sort of happens with small tournaments. They did a Swiss, and the person who got first place, very, very close. So this was an MLV decision. The first place, Jeremiah, got 678 MLV. And then second place, Cody, he got 666.
I didn't know he would find the houndstooth in real life.
So it's a 12-point difference. That's crazy. That probably doesn't feel too good to lose to that.
And it looks like everybody just beat up poor Matt there.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Isaiah was also actually really close. He got 629, which is less than 40 points behind Cody. And they're all 2 and
1. Yep.
Yeah. So we can look at the first one up here. Oh, hey, that looks a little familiar. We got Dengar going on. Dengar with
Fearless, which
does nothing.
Doesn't work with him now, as I don't think he knew that at the time.
Oh, yeah. I think that's probably it. I was like,
Contraband.
It would be amazing, but it doesn't.
Contraband, spare parts canisters.
Hold on. I think spare parts canister is really cool. It's kind of like the debris thing, but you can use it with the astromech, which he has R5P8. It's got a lot of charges on it.
What does R5 do again?
It is the one that lets you re-roll an attack die.
Okay.
And if it's a crit,
you take a crit.
I hate it for that reason. But kind of interesting with Dengar because you can modify both attack dice with it. So there is some reason there to use it. He was also running title. I believe spare parts canister lets you recharge your astromech, so he could use R5P8 an additional time, I believe.
Alright.
Yeah, that's one of the cool things about it. And then he was running 2 Skull Squadron pilots, which are the
I4s.
I4
Fang
fighters. And those did have working Fearless.
And then
they didn't have fake Fearless.
And then a Cartel Spacer with auto blasters.
Yeah, you probably just slap that in there.
Yep.
Might as well.
A little bit of extra damage.
Sure.
If you don't pay attention to it, it's out of your arc.
Yeah.
Take those crits, boy.
Auto Blasters is good. I would have put Sunny in there. I like
You might not have had the points. Might be at 200 right now.
I would have put Naked Sunny in there.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Pray for that lucky four hits range 1.
3.
You know,
Sunny doesn't get an extra. Oh yeah, 4. Yeah.
he adds one. Yeah,
It's
4
3 hits.
crits.
Ooh, 3 crits naturally, boy.
I'm going to Vegas.
Cody, you got second.
He was running. This list is actually kind of popular in hyperspace right now in general, right?
Oh,
Like you got Vader
Cody.
and a Dauntless. Or what did I say? Dauntless.
A Decimator.
And Decimator.
Well,
It's 'cause
Dauntless is the
Dauntless
title.
is right in front of me. It's right.
The title, yeah.
That's
and
a lot
so
of force.
Oikun, he's the running in guy, right? That's what.
Yeah,
Yes, he's the running in
He's
guy.
the running guy. You can perform attacks at range 0. You give him the title, so you can still do an action.
And you give him
Intimidation, so they lose the thing. And then he's got 3 force users on Oikun, so he still has the force for modifications
All
as well.
3.
7th Sister, Grand Inquisitor, and 5th Brother, as well as 000.
Well, I will say, I guess that lets you reinforce as well as have offensive mods.
Yep.
In fact, the best kind of offensive mod for generating ones that you don't have to use anything for.
That's really funny. I like it though. And then Vader just had heightened percentages and passive sensors. Really all you need. Don't even need a bid at that point if you have passive sensors.
Yep. Who cares about a bit when you got passive, baby?
Right. And then third place, really close third place, Isaiah with Braylon 10 with maneuver and auto blasters, no title. And then the generic X-Wings.
Of Initiative 2, Blue Squadron Escort, and they just have their foils.
I went against this exact list in the championship. When I was doing the Swiss runs. I think he's going to be really happy once they release the Hot Shots at Aces, or more of them up here. We get more in stock.
more.
So we've had people looking for them everywhere, every day.
Yeah. Yep. It's going to be... They're going to run out quick. I hope that they ordered enough.
Yep.
They didn't.
You're right, they didn't. I guarantee it. Everyone up here wants one. Okay. And that's it for the tournaments going on here. So, personally, I haven't had too much of a chance at all to look at what's been going on with the metagame and for X-Wing in general. The only thing I know is that Boba is super popular right now.
The last game I managed to watch was Boba Fett going against 6 strikers. The strikers did not have a good time.
TIE strikers?
Yeah, TIE strikers.
Like
Duchess and 5 I1s.
what?
It was not a good
What
time. for
kind
the strikers.
What kind of Alaskan list is that?
I don't know, dude. Gold Squadron, man.
That's crazy. I mean, it must have been really fun to look at, like, for the first 2 turns before they started just blowing up because
Yep.
they have 2 evasion and 4 health. Wow. I guess what you're going for, the 5 silencer list is just absolute
5 what?
silencer. I mean, striker.
5 silencers.
The game is done.
This is how we get first order to the top of the ranks. 5 silencers.
My God.
5 strikers. Yeah, you just kill them as fast.
Well,
as
no,
possible.
it's 5 generics and then Duchess. You got 6.
Wait, 6 strikers.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the shock troop if I ever saw one.
Good mobility. Good 3 attack dice.
Yeah, and then they go pop.
Yep, that's the thing. They go pop, they get PS killed, and they were against Boba Fett. They were probably like one-shotting them. Like,
Yeah, Boba was killing like 1 a turn. It's
Ben with
like,
Fearless
all right,
pretty much always gets 5 hits.
then,
Yeah.
all right, next.
okay.
Thank you, next.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because I think going forward, definitely looks like Scum will probably be contending with the So yes, for those top spots.
Well,
at least that's scum, Boba Fett.
I was about to say, you said scum, but it's going to be Boba Fett.
I mean, they're scum.
They're
they just
scum.
happen to be the only thing in scum.
Yeah.
I think that Boba's going to take a hit the next point update. Either that, or they'll remove him from hyperspace.
It seems to be something they're looking at doing.
That would be interesting.
You know, let's watch the Fire Spray not get played anymore.
Hey, like I said, I think the generics are really, really good. And that's... Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't think I'd usually play any of the other pilots. Not that they're necessarily bad, it's just that if I was playing any of the pilots, I'd play Boba.
Ewan's pretty good.
He's interesting. I don't know if I'd say he's great.
I mean, I think there's probably like Boba, then Koska, then Eamon.
The problem with Eamon is that you have to load him up with a whole bunch of stuff in order to make him work. You really want the title so you can reroll stuff out the back, and you have to put something on him to make use of his ability. Because he's the guy that shoots specials out the back, right?
Oh, that's
Special
Crassus.
attacks.
What's
Wait a
Crassus?
sec.
He's the one that drops
bomb
bombs.
guy.
Yeah, he's bomb guy.
So you still have to put something on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bombs are great though. So.
And bombs aren't that expensive either.
Yeah, I'd say Eamon is probably pretty good. He just pays for it a lot. Like he's like 70 something points, right?
Well, let me find out.
Generic 66, and Eamon's what? 72, 74.
Eamon is... Why is my app not working right now?
Mine just doesn't work at all right now. It's great.
71.
71. So, you're paying a premium of 5 points for, what's the PS?
4.
4? 2 higher pilot score. And the ability to chuck bombs at range 3, yeah?
Three
straight,
straight, 3 hard.
Hard?
3 straight or 3 hard.
Oh, it's not the... Oh. Yeah. That's pretty good. I like it. It opens up a lot of options for laying those bombs. You can use it with mines or just any of the bombs.
Get yourself a skilled bombardier and you can throw a bomb anywhere.
Does that work? Can you do a 2 hard with skilled bombardier?
I don't think so, but you can do 2. You can do 2 straights. 3 straight, 2 straight, 1 straight, 3 hards.
That is pretty nice.
I don't know if it's good, but it sounds hilarious.
Well, it's only like 2 points.
Yeah.
Was it the gunner, right?
Yeah.
You'd have to pay like 8 points for it then. I don't know if I'd do it. That's just funny to think about, though. What else has been going on up here? We haven't seen a lot of people play in First Order. Like, I think it's probably because Von Rig's tie came out. I'll be honest. I think we got some hype train, new shiny toy players.
In the First Order, he got the shiniest toy.
They did get the shiniest toy. I haven't seen one person, personally. I haven't flying against a fireball yet. Of course, a few people have been flying Kaz, like yourself, Luke, but not like people have been flying the Baron tie.
The problem with the fireball is that the pilots that have the important named pilot Kaz is too expensive.
Well, he's only like what 30-something points.
He's 40.
Oh.
He's 40 points, and he's basically flying just a slightly better 75.
Hold on though. He's 3-3-5. If you put him with that regenerating astromech.
That's true, but once he takes damage, his value plummets.
Yeah, I suppose, but gosh, for 50 points, you get 3-3-5. I don't know. I kind of like it.
I mean, he's a good pilot. It's just he's
What's his PS?
4.
4, middling.
In my experience with playing him so far, it's mostly that people focus him until they deal enough damage to him, and then he's kind of useless.
Yeah, I think 2 attacks, always something.
I mean, yes, it's an attack dice, but he's really he doesn't punch very hard after that point. That's the point.
Yeah, that's true. It's not like he can get advanced optics to make himself really
Effective with 2 dice.
But when he does get down there, heroic gets a lot more useful. It's true.
It's true and sad.
I guess.
But yeah, I mean, it definitely seems like Von Reich's tie has exploded in popularity up here. Can't keep it on the shelf.
And I think that's going to keep going with the introduction of the new wave. You know, they're finally in hyperspace. You're going to get a crew carrier. Well, they confirmed that.
It's a shuttle.
Yeah, it's a shuttle. Like, if it doesn't have a crew, I think I'm going to riot.
I mean,
What else was
that much?
What else are you supposed to put Snoke in?
Nothing. Who's running Snoke? Ever.
Someone somewhere is running Snoke, and you just offended them horrifically. Say you're sorry.
But if I offended anyone with that statement, they can come to me personally.
Hi, I'm right here.
You've never run Snoke in your life.
I think I read him once.
You can't even confirm.
No, I definitely read him once because I was trying to do an informant. I was trying to do like an information list. It was not fun.
Because you did, that's right. Because you did Informant and Snoke, right?
Yep.
What?
Yeah. And then I didn't go against any of the because there was like a tournament, and everybody up here was like huge on these things. We're like, oh, when you review your dial, and then I didn't go up against any of those lists, and I was like,
You know, I think Snoke's actually pretty good. If I remember his ability, I don't know how it works specifically.
systems phase range 0 to 1, I believe. You can reveal an enemy ship's dial if you spend the force at 0 to 3.
Yeah, I think he's pretty good.
During the systems phase, you may choose any number of ships beyond range 1. If you do spend that many force, to flip each chosen ship's dial face up.
There you go. And he only has 1 force, right?
Yeah.
So you can choose one. You have to put another force user, which you can only put Kylo. So you can only get 2.
I still think that being able to see a dial every turn, that's not bad.
I mean,
I think information's really powerful, so I think it's pretty good.
yeah.
Maybe not necessarily great enough to run over other stuff, but like I think people can get some use out of it.
Specifically when he takes up 2 crew slots.
Well, we'll have to wait because he's not hyperspace legal either.
Yeah.
None of the first order crew is.
Well, I wonder why.
Well, you'd think they might keep it in preparation for the XI.
Oh, you're right. I guess let's just see what it looks like without crew and see what kind of crew they put on it. Next hyperspace, I'm sure that they will.
Be
have
more.
it.
There's more hyperspace.
I want them to totally ixnay the special forces tie for the next hyperspace.
Back off.
Exactly. That's exactly why.
That's like all I have.
I know.
That's not fun. Let me just.
That and Kylo. Yeah.
What?
Oh yeah.
You know what?
This is looking good.
We lose the entire hyperspace plan. Remove the first order.
You know what? I hope all the scum gets a houndstooth for hyperspace.
I'd run it.
Yeah, you would.
You have like 3 houndstooths.
I own 4. Thank you very much.
How many can you run?
Are we talking about Epic?
The aisles. Talking about dials.
Oh shoot.
What, 2?
So I think this is about the time where we wrap it up for today.
Sounds like a good stopping point to me.
Yeah, we've gone over everything that's happened in the past couple months. It's been a really awesome time with X-Wing. I can't wait to keep playing and to see how the next wave and the next point updates shakes things up. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you for joining us.
Have a good day, evening, or whatever you're experiencing right now.